Helmer becomes furious with his wife for having been guilty of the crime of forgery. Nora is shocked by her husband's attitude. She had thought that he was capable of making any conceivable sacrifice for her sake, but she finds that he is a self-centered man. She also finds that he is incapable of living up to the moral principles which he has always been professing loudly and emphatically. Her love for him drops dead, and she leaves him and also her children. Now, another important point that we discussed together is Helmer's reasons for wanting to dismiss Krogstad. Helmer and Krogstad had been great friends during their boyhood, but now Helmer holds Krogstad in contempt. In the first place, Krogstad had spoiled his reputation by an act of dishonesty for which he could have been prosecuted if the matter had gone to the court. This act of dishonesty on Krogstad's part was an act of forgery similar to that of Nora, but while Nora had forged a signature without realizing that it was something illegal and punishable with imprisonment, Krogstad had committed an act of forgery knowing fully well what he was doing. Helmer had come to know of Krogstad's act of dishonesty and had therefore formed a low opinion about his friend of all days. For this reason, Helmer has decided to dismiss Krogstad. Why? Because he is treating him informally, as we said, from his post in the bank. And now when Nora recommends Mrs. Lindy for a job, Helmer makes up his mind to appoint Mrs. Lindy to the post which will be vacated by Krogstad. But Helmer has the second reason also to get rid of Krogstad. Krogstad always speaks to Helmer in a familiar manner, addressing him by his Christian name and behaving as if the friendship of their old days of boyhood still exists between them. Helmer does not want that a man in a subordinate position, and especially a man who had been guilty of criminal act, should behave as if he were Helmer's equal. For the themes that we have, the first theme is the sacrificial role of women. And we said in A Doll's House, Ibsen paints a bleak picture of the sacrificial role held by women of all economic classes in society. In general, the play's female characters exemplify Nora's assertion, spoken to Torvald in Act 3, that even though men refuse to sacrifice their integrity, hundreds of thousands of women have. The unreliability of appearance over the course of A Doll's House appearance proved to be misleading. That makes the reality of the play's character and situation. For the symbols, we have the Christmas tree, and the Christmas tree, a festive object meant to serve a decorative purpose, symbolizes Nora's position in her household as plaything who is pleasing to look at and adds charm to the house. There are several parallels drawn between Nora and the Christmas tree and the play. New Year's Day, the action of the play is set at Christmas time, and Nora and Torvald both look forward to New Year's as the start of a new, happier phase in their lives. In the new year, Torvald will start his new job, and he anticipates with excitement the extra money and admiration of the job will bring him. Nora also looks forward to Torvald's new job because she will finally be able to repay her secret debt to Krogstad. By the end of the play, however, the nature of the new start that New Year's represents for Torvald has changed dramatically. Now, okay, with this we come to the end of this lecture. As I said, that this lecture is just a summing up of all the points that we finished. And with this, I wish you all the best, inshallah. You will find everything quite well, and I'm quite sure that you will be able to answer the final exam, inshallah, perfectly. Thank you very much for all of you, and see you, inshallah, in other courses maybe. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.